Welcome back to EVS2K. Today we're going to look at wiring up and spinning the motor for the first time. I'm sure you're aware of my friend Stuart's efforts to convert a Porsche 928 to EV. If you're not, follow his channel Incarnation, link in the description and below. Like me, Stuart bought a crashed MG ZS EV. Unlike me, he's decided to use the entire drivetrain and control system out of the MG. He's effectively rebodying an MG ZS. In one way, this is simpler than my method of using the Tesla motor. His setup just requires every single module and loom out of the MG installed in the Porsche. And in his recent video, he got the wheels turning. Awesome achievement. If you've seen his recent video, he's taken a few backward steps since then. Appeasing the fickle MG gods can be a bit tricky, apparently. I've taken a different approach. I've modified the Tesla small drive unit with an OpenInverter controller board. The OpenInverter board doesn't require OK signals from the ABS system, the brakes, the yaw sensor, the bonnet sensor, etc. It just requires 12 volts to the ignition circuit, then 12 volt high on the start line. Very similar to turning on the ignition and pressing the start button on a conventional car. So what I've done is mocked up this circuit and built a test control panel using an on-off switch for the ignition and a momentary switch for the start button. I've also used a 3-position sensor for forward and reverse. The system is powered by a 12 volt bench power supply. In place of the battery, I'm using this huge 60 volt bench power supply. It actually contains two 30 volt power supplies connected in serial. Thanks, Jared. The 60 volt supply connects through to the contactor box. This is part of the MG battery, and it contains the main negative contactor, the main positive contactor, the pre-charge contactor, and also the high voltage charge contactor, which is not part of this experiment. The leads out of the contactor box connect down here through these modularly rigged up terminal connectors to the main DC input on the Tesla motor. You'll notice when I turn the ignition switch on, it closes the main negative contactor. You can see there's a closed circuit there. It also temporarily closes the pre-charge circuit. Time to calibrate our throttle pedal. This is a throttle pedal out of the MG, and it's connected into the OpenInverter board. We're connected here to the OpenInverter control interface, and what we're looking at is pot value 1. We've got it set to auto. Pedal fully up. The value for pot 1 is 829, and if we press the throttle, you watch that climb to 4,095. So those are our limits. So here's where we set the pot min value, and the minimum value we saw was 827, but we want a bit of a dead spot. So we're going to set it to 840. Turn the refresh off. And our pot max, 4,095, bit of a dead spot, so 480, 4080, 4080. And we'll send those values. All right, we're powered on. Ignition is on, start button has been pressed, 60 volts going through the contactor box to the motor itself, throttle calibrated, and gently press down on the throttle. And she's spinning.
Excellent.